Dear students, welcome to the online classes program of Higher Education Department, Punjab. It is Department of English Language and Literature of Govt Postgraduate College, Attock. Here, I am Sharif Zahid, Assistant Professor of English.
Well, gentlemen, according to Russell's point of view, in the last lecture we came across about civilized attitude and the responsibility he puts on the shoulder of the teachers, that it is one of the functions of the teacher to make his or her students and inculcate these feelings of civilized human being. Now starts the next function, and that too is equally important, rather more important. No man can be a good teacher. Let us see, he puts the condition that if you want to be a good teacher, what will you have to keep in your mind? No man can be a good teacher unless he has feelings of warm affection towards his pupils. So, first of all, a good teacher has to be sincere. He must keep feelings about his taught ones, who are his pupils, and a genuine desire to impart to them what he himself believes to be of value, whatsoever he considers that it will be useful in their life, in their future, whether do they ask or not, whether do they put their questions or not. It is the primary duty of a good teacher. Russell says no man can be a good teacher. It means there is a difference between a teacher and a good teacher. If you want to be remembered as a good teacher, so you must keep in your mind that whether the students ask or not, you must deliver to them such knowledge. You must prepare them for the future, whatsoever they have to face. This is not the attitude of the propagandist. Those who wish to be remembered and they wish to be lauded and applauded, they are propagandists. The teacher is no more a propagandist, because Russell has given a difference between the propagandist and a teacher in the next lines. To the propagandist, his pupils are potential soldiers in an army. Means a propagandist utilizes the strength of his soldier, and the strength of their soldier is to give life. They are to serve purposes that lie outside their own lives. Giving life is not the wish of the soldier, rather it is the wish of his officer or general who has made him stand in front of his enemy. Not in the sense in which every generous purpose transcends self, but in the sense of ministering to unjust privilege or to despotic power. So he has to stand before cruel powers. The propagandist does not desire that his pupils should survey the world and freely choose a purpose. Means they are not allowed to think themselves about the matters. Rather, the soldiers are made to obey only, which to them appears of value. He desires, means the propagandist desires. Like a Topperian artist, like a clipping artist, he desires that their growth of his soldiers, shall be trained and twisted to suit the gardener's purpose. So whatsoever does suit them, so they will prepare them likewise. And in thwarting their natural growth, he is apt to destroy in them all generous vigor. He has to prepare him, and he has to cut down all of his potential power, replacing it, whether he has to put through training in them by envy, destructiveness, and cruelty. The propagandist will inculcate the passions of envy and cruelty. There is no need for men to be cruel. On the contrary, so no one is cruel. Since birth, I am persuaded, Bertrand Russell is convinced that most cruelty results from a thwarting in the early years, above all from a thwarting what is good. So, in the early childhood, if there are certain hard passions, they may generate, otherwise, there is no need of generating such passions. Then, why do we come across such passions? Russell tries, and he successfully makes us understand as well that repressive and persecution passions are very common. So, everywhere now and then we see people are opposing each other, as the present state of the world only too amply proves, and it has been furnished. But they are not an inevitable part of human life. They means repressive and persecuting passions. It is not necessary that they should be traceable among all human beings or they should be there necessarily. No. On the contrary, they are, I believe, they means such passions, passions of repressive and persecution, they are the outcome of some kind of unhappiness. Some incident might have taken place in their youth, in their childhood, or in their near ones, close ones. An other important function of the teacher given by Bertrand Russell is that it should be one of the functions of the teacher to open vistas before his pupils, showing them the possibility of activities that will be as delightful as they are useful. So, another function of the teacher is that, like the earlier one, whether the students ask or not, same goes here, that he should show his student, he should open all the windows, all the future aspects, all the possibilities, all the paths of success, that you may exert this or that. But the good teacher is he, or the successful teacher is he, who puts his students on the path in which they are enjoying as well. Means the activities that will be delightful and as well as they are useful. Useful means making them as successful citizens of the country, thereby letting loose their kind impulses. Of course, once they are enjoying while learning, there should be one point kept in the mind, and preventing the growth of a desire to rob others of joys that they will have missed. So take care that they should not rob rest of the people of the joys which they have missed. So this is which is persecution passion or repression or deprivation. A person, God forbid, if he has faced any deprivation in his practical life or in his contributive path, he should not deprive others because he himself was deprived. Many people decry happiness as an end. So some people think that one should be happy both for themselves and for others, but one may suspect them of sour grapes. Means it is not easy to be happy or to make others happy without exploiting others. If you succeed, you are a lucky one. It is one thing to forego personal happiness for a public end. Of course, it is better. But it is quite another to treat the general happiness as a thing of no account. So, Bertrand Russell wants to say that it is the duty of the teacher to make his pupils useful one, not only in their own lives, but for useful one for the rest of the people. Yet this is often done in the name of some supposed heroism. People make their efforts, but they wished to be remembered as hero, regardless of the return we receive in our life. We should always remain busy in contributing into promoting the happiness of other peoples as well. In those who take this attitude, there is generally some vein of cruelty, means those who wish to be admired as a hero, probably upon an unconscious end, and they themselves do not know why such passions are in them, and the source of the envy will usually be found in childhood or youth. Same is the point that they might have been deprived of in their practical life they wish to enjoy, but they fail to find any opportunity. Now, once again, the function of the teacher has been emphasized over here, and it is not less than the previous two or three functions we have discussed. Here, Bertrand Russell lays the responsibility that it should be the aim of the educator to train adults free from these psychological misfortunes. What are these psychological misfortunes? These are depriving others from happiness, ending repression and persecution, and not to go against anyone, removing the passions of jealousy, at least about those people who have contributed into the betterment of the lives of human being. So it should be the aim of the educator to train adults free from these psychological misfortunes and not anxious to rob others of happiness. Means those who are his or her student, so he should create the passion that it is not your duty to rob others of happiness because they themselves have not been robbed of it. Nobody has stopped your happiness, your path of success. So you should facilitate others to contribute to enjoy happiness and not to stop the path of progress in anybody. Thank you very much for patient listening and happy watching The Office.